Hello and welcome to a new series, October Snow. 18 by 24, so I'm going kind of big. I'm George Coll, here to introduce a new series. What I'm introducing is atmospheric, darker in front, a little lighter, and making things look really shrouded back in here. So that's the whole challenge, I think, of this painting, is softer edges, particularly as you go back, softer, lighter, and it's going to be so beautiful. All right, so today was blocking. We covered the whole thing almost on camera. I still should probably spend some time. I have little white stuff peeking through, but I'll worry about that in part two. I'm good enough with this for part one. I mean, to do an 1824 in 30 minutes is pretty good. Please, you don't have to go that fast. But blocking is thin. Keep it thin. So, get outside and paint. Paint with your friends. Get critiques. And don't be intimidated by a white canvas. All right, bye. Let's get painting. Hey, good morning. Let's start another new painting. Part one of a three-part series called October Snow. I did a similar painting to this, a while back, called Shrouded Mountain. And so what we're going to do, we've been working with atmosphere here recently. And so we're going to do, the back mountain is shrouded in, a fog or, snow or something. And so I want to make everything go back. So that's the big practice thing with this, is making things go back and softer. So I went ahead and got to my sketchbook and made a sketch. Tried to get my brain in gear to work these things out and where the foreground's going to be and where the foundation lines are going to be. And that really helped me, I think, this morning. I'm trying to get some good habits. So let me put that to one side, and let's get started with some foundation lines. All right, so I am going to start out here, I think, with a number 4 2025. A little bit stiffer brushes. So let's make a mixture of gray and a little bit of blue, ultra blue. Oh darn, that's too blue. Get some more gray in here. Okay, that's nice. It's my newest drawing color. When I started, I was using transparent oxide red. Was a follower of Richard Schmidt. Now I'm just kind of expanding out with some different stuff that seems to be a little bit more comfortable for this. Well, I see in the foreground a flat line, so I'm going to put that in here. Somewhere in here, I don't know, it's going to be one of these two or three. And then I see a mountain coming off kind of a hill. Oh, it's going to come off over here. A little left of center. Oh, and by the way, I'm working on an 18 by 24. And I think a smaller hill here. So then we're going to have bunches of pine trees coming up here, maybe in this area right in here, pine trees. Then we have more pine trees that kind of go off up, and they kind of dip down here in this area. These guys are going to be in here. That means pine trees for now. And then we have kind of a snowfield up here, coming in here. I like that snowfield, it's nice. And there's kind of a hill here that comes in here. And this is going to be softer. So this means softer. So far, so good. Don't panic. You can always erase this stuff if it's no good. All right, so let's, now up here, there's kind of a even softer, I'm even making thinner paint by adding more Gamsol. And I'm going over here to make a kind of an indication of some sort of pine tree design here going in here. And then I'm going to change to a softer brush and make some soft mountains in the back. So I'm going to add even more Gamsol and make some sort of a softer design of a mountain. Just giving a little bit of indication that there's something big going on here, right in this area. Oop, too dark. That was too dark. Sorry. Soften that. A little paper towel. Okay. And I think we'll put some other marks in here. And out here is a really, really soft mountain trailing off in that area. I think too we're going to have some sort of a, oh, I don't know, some sort of a design coming out of here. And make that maybe a stream coming out. Because I think there is one there that drains out of here. I can't exactly see it, but I know it's there. I've been in this spot, of course. And these are going to be these scrubby bushes coming down here. And now different designs of those. They're going to be kind of that rusty red stuff. And being all this gray and dull green, we need some good warm colors. And I think these bushes will do the trick for us. Okay. So, I don't know if I'm going to use this gray exactly, but grays are very handy to have in landscape painting. So I'm going to put that off to the side and go to my next mixture. In this stage of the painting, I call it block-in, what I'm trying to do is cover this whole canvas in 30 minutes, which I can't do. But due to the fact that I'm working on a larger canvas, I might have to do some of the repetitive work that I introduced during taping off camera. Okay, let's get bigger stuff here. So I've got a number 6, 279, so I'm going to a softer brush, and I'm going to start making some gray greens. So I'm going to go ultra blue, yellow ochre, yellow ochre, yellow ochre, and a little bit of Hansa Deep. And that's a big, dull green that you can see here in the reference. And again, I've added a lot of Gamsol to this because I want it thin. I'm going to add some gray to that. There we go. I like that better. It's not so hard. You say, why did you do that? Well, putting that on just seemed a little too dark. A little bit of gray. A lot of gray in nature. And I think I'm going to bring a few of these trees down this way just to break up this big shape here. So I don't have a big nasty strong line here. And I'll bring a small one down this way. Oh, that's nice. I like sets of 3 if I do things like that. Using this same value, I'm going to put got a pine tree design that goes here, and then it goes back up in this area. And I'm breaking up the line here too. See, I have some coming down, some staying up. Okay. I think what I'm going to do here is get my 1-inch brush and just try to get this a little bit more even here. And that does the trick. Okay, now I need to go back with that design back here. So I'm going to add more gray to the mixture. I still need, it's a little weak, so I'm going to go blue and yellow ochre again. Ochre, yellow ochre, yellow ultra again. Too much ultra, back to yellow ochre, and now gray. I think that gray I had came in handy. And I'm going to thin it down with some Gamsol. And hope that it gives the feeling of going back. I hope I don't make my snow feel too big or too small. I hope it's just right. Is that little Goldilocks with... had to have the porridge just right. Oh, looks pretty good. All right, darkest, not so dark, and lightest right here. Now, up here, it's more blue. So it's really going back. So I'm going to have to move this gray-green stuff out of here. It's pretty thin. Maybe I can use it, maybe I can't. But let's put it off to one side and check our time. All right, 17.5 minutes left. Okay. So what I want to do next is get up into this blue guy here. So I'm going to go with a soft brush again, same series, 279, it's at number 4. And I'm going to make the mixture. So I'm going to use some ultra blue and some light gray. Okay, let's do this. So I'm making it thin with the Gamsol. I need more blue. So you notice I left some more blue right next to it in case I needed to darken it up. And let's see if this does the trick. That is working nicely. Better add some more Gamsol to that mixture. And let's make a design. just little hints of stuff here. And now I'm going to go to this gray stuff we have, just going to go to straight gray with a little bit of blue in it. And re-emphasize these guys. I added just a touch of white to it. I haven't used white yet, but here we go. I think that is working. And even lighter still out in here. And to make it lighter still, I'll just get my paper towel on it. And that's the mountains for now. All right. We'll pretend this is snow and atmosphere for now, because I don't have time to fill it in. And let's go down to the foreground. And let's make a design for bushes. So it has something to do with red and transparent oxide red. I'm going to add some light gray to it. And a touch of yellow ochre. Because that's what I see. That might be too strong. Maybe, maybe not, but we will test it here with my number 4279 and work out some of these designs. Too strong. See some of this stuff on the side of the hill here. A lot of it at the base, because I think it's just the layering. What you see, there's just a whole lot piled up behind what you see. And then there's a big swath of it up in here, and I think that's really neat. And some others in a few places that we can use. But this is a big statement right in here with these warms. I'm going to add some bismuth yellow to it. And then there's kind of I'm going to give a design of something coming out of here, some sort of a dark line of bushes. Maybe it's threading along a stream, maybe not. But that's what I am inspired to do right now. So there's going to be a major thread coming out of here. Of these worms. And I think I need some over here too. All right, let me take a look at that design, that abstract design going in here. What I mean by abstract design, this is an abstract design. All right. Let's make a mixture with yellow ochre. I've been kind of heavily using my yellow ochre. Let me see what I can do with this. I'm going to add some Naples to it to lighten it up. Naples yellow. And a little bit of slop white I had left over from previous paintings. And I think that value is coming in pretty good. What do you think? That's nice. Know when to quit mixing and start painting. All right, now I'm going to change brushes again to a larger brush. And see how I'm doing my time. 11 minutes. We are just doing really, really well. All right, so I'll go back to that number 6. And I'm going to get a lot of Gamsol in here to thin it out on one side. And hope the value is good. I need it darker, darn it. Let's get some transparent oxide red back into it. Transparent oxide red. And we'll go into this pile right here. And I'm going to add a little bit of emerald green to it, because I see it in the foreground. I think that is coming in pretty nicely. Whew, nice. I think I have this secured. Why is it moving? Huh. Keeping my painting stable is very important while I'm painting. I think that has to be light up in there. This is going to be the darker stuff around here. Now I'm not going to cover up all this nice orangey, dark, rusty color, but I'm going to be working around it with this bigger brush. Try to, off camera, I'll be covering up all these white spots. So it's kind of good to maybe tone a canvas before you start a painting. Many good artists do that. And I have done it. And it works wonders. Okay, I'm going to lighten this a little bit with some Naples, touch of white. Let me get that green in here too. And I'm going to put it up here where it's a little lighter. I know a lot of times this should be lighter because of the sun maybe overhead, but in these kind of overcast deals, it's kind of rules are a little different. The rules are meant to be broken in art, because nature is always doing strange stuff. Moving along briskly. All right. Whew, need a break. Man. Oh, that's nice. I like the difference between this and that. That's very nice. I am going to try to get these little white peekaboos, I call them, covered up as best as I can, and then move on. You know, in here I see kind of a lighter area, and I'm going to emphasize that to a certain extent. So I'm thinking it's a little bit of gray blue in there, so I'm going to go a little bit of gray, ultra, gray, and let's get some white to lighten it up. And I'm going to, I gotta really lighten that thing up. That is too dark. Come on. Let's get some blue in here. Ultra. And here we go. That's more like it. Just breaking things up with some wonderful value change. I don't know what that is, but I see it in the reference, and I'm going to work on it. Oh, I better fill that in. All right, for now, that's a little too emphasized compared to the reference, and I'll probably sneak that down a little bit. Let me do a little smash here. And what this is just kind of blending these values a little closer together and loosening your edges. And if your paint's too thick, you can also thin it out here. And I got some runs down here. Try to get rid of them. And let me re-emphasize some of my warms that I've lost. I think that's transparent oxide red, little alizarin, little viridian. Let's get back to transparent oxide brown and re-emphasize some of my warms down here. I want to get back up in here and finish this guy, which I completely forgot to do. And here we go. And I will thin it there. Thin it. Oh, right. Okay, you're saying, well, George, what are you going to do with all this kind of stuff? Well, I'm going to have to clean my palette here. And let me see how my time is. 3 minutes. I think I can squeeze something to get you started on that. And since we have such a cold painting, let's think about a little bit of a warm sky up there. We'll have a slight transition between sky and snow. So we'll go more warm, more cool. Subtle, not big change here. So we'll start with the sky first. Transparent oxide, or titanium white, and just a touch of Hansa. A little bit of Hansa goes a long, long way, particularly when you mix it with white. I mean, I'm just getting little bits of yellow in here. Oh, that was too much. Blend it in, very good. Okay, I think that'll do it. So I'm going to get my number 1 inch or 1.5 inch. Get some Gamsol on it. A little bit more yellow in there. And thin it down. And let's get some soft sky in. So where mountain and sky start and end will be kind of let the viewer decide that with their eye. And that brush takes real quick care of that. And then for the guys, for the snow inside, I'm going to throw in more white on this, and I'm going to throw a little bit of cobalt just a little bit of cobalt. Cobalt. And mix that in thoroughly. Boy, I'm getting kind of messy here. Glad I wear gloves painting. All right, I'm going to try to get this yellowy stuff out of the brush and thin this cooler stuff down. And get that in here. Oh, that's too strong. Look at that. Oh, my time is up. All right, thank you very much. I'll see you in part 2, and we'll work more on balance in part 2. All right, fill in all your spaces, and I'll see you in part 2.